Okay, guys, today we're going to talk gun control, a subject near and dear to my heart given sort of my affinity towards freedom, the Second Amendment, the shooting sports, personal protection, etc., etc., etc. We know we're on the precipice of the Democrats trying to push the most draconian gun laws down our throats, laws that will literally only hurt law-abiding citizens' ability to defend themselves, because as we know, bad people who are criminals don't actually follow laws. That's why the fact that murder is illegal doesn't prevent murder from happening, because bad guys don't follow laws. Only good guys do. But speaking of good guys and bad guys, it seems that given the draconian measures again that they want to do, eliminate semi-automatic weapons, ban high-capacity magazines, tax the bejesus out of your firearms and everything else, maybe the Biden administration should look a little closer to home, because recently documents came out showing that it appears that Hunter Biden himself has committed numerous felonies that would be a real problem to an ordinary citizen who didn't have protection for being the son of a wealthy and rich and powerful Democrat. Apparently, Hunter Biden's girlfriend at the time, who was his brother's widow, don't get me started, suspected him of doing something a little shady. You know, he'd been in rehab many times, there's other problems out there. He was thrown out of the Navy Reserve for cocaine use. She took his .38 out of his car and threw it in a dumpster across from a high school. Now, that in and of itself shouldn't have it. She probably shouldn't even be in possession of that gun in most states. She shouldn't be able to have it, but she also couldn't recklessly store it, like putting it in a trash can across from the school. If something would have happened with those children and they found it and someone got shot, would they be prosecuted? Would Hunter get away with it as he seems to get away with everything else? I don't know. Was Hunter in legal possession of that firearm? Because as an unlawful user or addicted to marijuana, depressants, stimulant, narcotic, or drugs or other controlled substances, that's something you have to check off on your ATF form when you did it. Now, if he checked it off as though he wasn't after those stints in rehab and after being thrown out of the Navy Reserve, it means he probably lied on that form. If he lied on that form, that's a felony. If he caused the dealer to create an inaccurate record, that's a felony. If he was in possession of a illegal firearm because he falsified those records, that's a felony. Is he just going to get away with it? It seems that federal agents swooped in. Allegedly, some Secret Service people came in and tried to get the records from the gun store owner. He says that he didn't give it to him because that's the jurisdiction of the ATF, and he suspected that if it was Secret Service, even if the Secret Service wasn't officially involved with them at the time, that would have been their way of sort of covering up Hunter's purchase of this firearm. Okay? Now, Secret Service denies any records of that. I'd like to believe them, but, you know, the White House also denied there was an official record of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden meeting with Hunter's shady business partners. Now, yeah, of course, it wasn't in the official record, just like there may not be an official record of this. That doesn't mean it didn't happen, but law-abiding citizens don't have the benefit of having federal agents come in there and save their ass. I know if it was me, I'd be in jail right now. If it were you, you'd be in jail right now. You'd be culpable for this disaster. But because it's Hunter Biden, he can get away with it. Just like in the police report, he can say that the what appeared to be Mexican workers at the store are probably illegals. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, Hunter Biden can put out racist tropes like that, make assumptions like that. No problem. He's a Democrat. We get away with it. They can get away with it. No big deal whatsoever. But you can't make this stuff up, folks. Okay? There's a clear pattern here. The Democrats want you to follow rules that they themselves refuse to follow. They write laws that they have no intention of following themselves. And even if they did have an intention of following, they have so little knowledge of the subject matter that they're breaking rules, not knowing what the hell to do, because the people writing the laws don't even understand the policies that they're doing. They don't understand the weapons. They don't understand anything about it, but it doesn't stop them from writing a rule. It's like when New York put in the SAFE Act and they banned high-cap mags. Police officers were theoretically breaking the law and committing a felony by carrying their service weapons because they had more than 10 shots in their magazines. Again, people making laws when you don't know what the hell you're talking about is the problem, and liberal privilege and them being able to get away with it while you would be subject to their very harsh penalties is a serious problem and something we need to address. This is why we have to push back on this nonsense, guys, because there is no middle ground to try to be reasonable with the Democrats about something, because they have no intention of being reasonable. The second they get something, the next day they're starting their attack back on your freedoms to get the next thing and the next and the next. And it's a death by 1,000 cuts, to the point by which you're going to wake up one day with no rights, no freedoms, no ability to defend yourself or your family. And I ain't letting that happen to me, and I don't think you should either. I'll play by the rules, but I'm going to fight really, really hard to make sure that these things make sense and that we call out the nonsense of this administration when a Yale-educated lawyer who's the son of the President of the United States can break these laws and nothing happens. Guess what, folks? You shouldn't be subjected to things that are significantly worse, because you'd be paying the penalty when he doesn't have to pay crap.